Hello everybody, Drew here, tip of the Mint Flips, where I'm a full-time eBay reseller, and every 100 subscribers there's a giveaway. So if you're watching, make sure you subscribe so you have a chance to win. I got 17 orders going out from over the weekend. Made a bit of a mistake. It didn't cost me anything, still got me some sales, just missed out on some profits, some potential profits. Does that matter? Take the sale? Cry about the profits you lost out on? I don't know. We'll discuss it as we go. First thing going out on A2 is a vintage Tupperware something. It was yellow. A2. This one right here. Let me get you a number just so you know exactly what it is. It is a Beverage Buddy 1-quart pitcher 792 in yellow. And for that Beverage Buddy, which doesn't make sense to me. So this is supposed to be like a pitcher? I guess, yeah, it's got a pour spout, but I don't know. Seems weird. Tupperware people know what they're talking about though, so sure, it's a Beverage Buddy. For that right there, $12.59 free shipping. I did have a sale running over the weekend. Almost always have a sale running. That is why it's $12.59. Next thing going out, it never ceases to amaze me how when you list things, that those things seem to sell faster than the things you've had listed for 2 years. Some of that's the algorithm. Some of that is you're just buying better things. But I would say about half of the things that sold were things that got listed in the last week to 2 weeks. This one, very, very cool. I'll just show it off. I don't want to pull it down. It's a vintage acro print time clock right here. It is new open box, new without a box. It did come with the instructions and the keys. Keys is a big factor there, and some time cards. And for that vintage acro print, that's hard to say, acro print. Gotta really enunciate in there. Time recorder 125 AR3. There are many different models of that same brand. I don't know if there's much difference between them outside of like what year and a little bit shape of it here or there. But for that one specifically, new open box, ended up selling on sale $202.49. I paid $25. It took a couple days to sell. Very, very cool. Next thing going out, glad to see some more shoes going. It's Nike Air Jordan React on the left. Nike Air Jordan React. Oh, wow, right on top. I was just about to say, I've been moving some of these around a little willy-nilly. It might not be there anymore, but it is right on top. Nike Air Jordan React. I do remember these ones. There was a little stain and Jen couldn't get it off and it drove her crazy. In the white infrared. $90 plus shipping on those. And the shoe, those shoes I would have paid around 20 bucks for. And sales, the last video sales was all low dollar items. Highest item was I think $40 free shipping, and it was only because it was a quantity 2 that even got to that point. This day's sales, mostly higher end. Love it, love it, love it. Or at least not very many low end. C5 is Vintage Does, D-O-E-S, Vintage Does, 1941 Taillights. Over here, red glass. You'll remember I sold the glass license plate mounts, and these came in that same lot that I got from my buddy Mikhail. And for these taillight covers, which are glass, and you can't see it here, but in the listing you could see it. We ended up shining a light. Let me pull it out. Hopefully I don't damage them in the process. But if you hold it up to the light, that middle part is actually blue. So that's kind of cool. And for the pair of those, $28.99 free shipping. All right, next thing going out on C3 is a deluxe Excalibur C123 electronic chess. Here we go. Come on now. Joe, Ken, please get out of the way. There we go. New in package, deluxe electronic chess champion series. And for that right there, going through the global shipping program, $29.99 plus shipping, plus additional shipping on top of that shipping to eBay to ship it to wherever. Had a viewer say, tell me, hey, yeah, you just do this and you can find out where it's going. I tried. I'm guessing user error. I'm almost certain user error. So I'm still trying to figure that out. I will figure it out if there's a way. And Cass says there's a way, so there must be a way. Another item going out, international global shipping program. B2C is a Mary Kay time-wise. B2C. And because I didn't look, I hope very much that it's only one in here. And it does appear that way. The Bronze 6. So hopefully that's the one I need. Bronze 6. And Bronze 603. 8700, $14.99 free shipping. Now here's where it gets a little hibbity-dibbity, okay? I guess I'll explain the mistake I made, and then I can do a little more deep dive. So I had a sale, an actual sale, somebody paid for it, on one of the pens. I think it was listed around $100, took an offer of $80. So the sales today would have been even that much better. And luckily, the buyer, they said, hey, can I get another picture of this part before you send it out? It seems like there might be an issue here. I said, of course, yeah, let's investigate. And so I grabbed the pen, and as soon as I looked where they were talking about, there was a little piece of plastic that Jen just didn't notice when she was listing it that had gotten broken off. And it doesn't affect the pen, just the look of it. But if you're paying $80 for a pen, you don't want to break in it. I said, hey, how about, what if I knock off an extra $10 or something like that? And they said, no, at that I would have to buy a new part for it, so it's not really worth it for me. I said, that's perfectly fine. So I was like, okay, let me put on my salesman cap, and I say, okay, well, sorry for all the trouble. Let me go ahead and cancel the order, refund your money, and I'll send you a coupon, whichever one you like to use, which I don't do. I don't use the coupons in eBay, none of that. But I was like, sure, that makes sense. Send them a coupon that they can use at their leisure. It brings them the point of the coupon, and that part makes sense to me. You want people to come back to your store. You want them to be like, okay, well, or you want to entice them to, oh, well, I couldn't get that. Well, let me look at the other pens. I got an extra 20% off. Let me at least look through. It entices them to shop. It entices them to look. Whether they buy some or not, who knows? What I did not know is that when I made the coupon, that it was just an open coupon to everybody out there. Just at checkout, would you like to take an extra 20% off your stuff? Sure, yeah, I'd love that. Boom. So it didn't happen for every order, but it happened on a couple of them. And on one decently expensive one, so I lost out on about $45. Item wasn't selling anyways, so does that matter? I still made a bunch of money off the item. I still made $150 in profit. So, am I mad about it? No. Am I disappointed in myself for not doing something correctly? Yes, very much. But here's where it gets hibbity-dibbity, okay? The only reason I knew it had happened, and this coupon was good till the end of the month. So somebody could have really cleaned me out, because I already had a 10% sale plus 20% off on top of that. You could have bought a bunch of my high-end stuff, just put it in your own store. That would have been bad for me. Actually, no, that would have been great. If somebody wanted to buy a bunch of my high-end stuff, I would be okay with that if they got 30% off on all of it. That would be okay. But this is the part that threw me off is, okay, so the item sells, like this lock was one of the items. This lock right here sold for 10% off, $22.49. Great sale. I'm okay with that. That's great. Yeah. Then if I go into the order details, they had got an additional, I don't know if you can even see this, an additional $4.50 off the item. If I didn't go into the details or into my payments and look at how much money I got, I would have no idea, because even in the my eBay section right here, $22.49. It shows that my sale, the money I made, was $22.49. And unless I do a deep dive, I never realized that I was giving an additional 20% off on that item. Would have no clue. So I don't know what eBay's thinking there. Why would you ever want a seller to think they're making more money than they are? You're just going to end up with a bunch of phone calls. People going, hey, you shorted me a bunch of money, and, on and on. It just seems ludicrous. I'm not blaming them for the mistake I made. I'm just saying this part of it is stupid. I mean, I'll get right to it. It's stupid. Why would you ever put it anywhere that I made a certain amount of money when I did not make that certain amount of money? That's just going to make people upset. That's just going to make your customer service have to do more work than they should have to do. It just doesn't make any sense that they don't display the actual amount of money that I was paid. I don't get it. And so some of these totals I'm giving you are not the total I got. And I'm not going to open each individual one. The couple that I remember, I'll point out. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand. But next thing going out, B3 is a vintage Yale and Town lock. Ooh, wow, there's a lot of those. So I hope it's this one. I think it's this one. Let's double check. This is a very cool looking one. Yep, that's the one. Super cool looking. I like that a lot. And so for that item, $22.49 free shipping, right? But no, it was 19 something because it was an additional 20% off. Why would it be like that? Why wouldn't you show me the actual amount of money I got? I'm befuddled by it, confused, a little disgruntled, a little. I think mostly I'm upset because they're making me do more work right now to explain to you that these totals I'm telling you are not correct because I don't want to give some false information. So it's a bummer. But next thing going out, B3B is a Sega Dreamcast mouse. This is another item listed a few days ago, sold pretty quickly, probably because it was 30% off. That's a bummer. But I paid, I got the keyboard and the mouse for $5 total. So I paid technically about $2.50 for it, saying I got $44.99 free shipping. Let's see. Let's find out together. Is that how much I got? It's not. I'm going to spoil it for you. How much I actually got, because they got an additional $9 off. I got $38.91. Am I mad that I got $38.91 for that? No. Am I upset that I have to open a second screen to tell you how much? Very much so. Just doesn't make sense. All right, next thing going out. A3 is a Pyrex B28 lid. A123. I'm hoping it's this one. That makes it easy. Well, this is a P83C, but it also says B28 right here. So that's a bummer. P83C. Okay, at least that number's right, but over here, oh, no, B28. I just was getting I'm all jumbled up. That's the right one. It's perfect. Everything's good. Oh, man. For that lid that is correctly done, $14.99 free shipping. Next thing going out, B3B is a holiday Snowflake Pre-Cut B3B. This one right here, this is an item that when I was going through, I am 100% sure that the price I'm about to tell you, $17.99 free shipping. Whatever the total is of $17.99 free shipping, minus another 20%, that's actually what it sold for. I'm not going through that process every time. It would have sold for the $17.99 at some point, probably. Just so frustrating. I'm not going to go on anymore about it. You get the point. Me jibber-jabbing about it doesn't help anybody. Next thing going out, A2 is a vintage cassette Red Hot Chili Peppers. Blood, Sweat, Sugar? Something like that? Blood, Sugar, Sex, Magic. And they spelt magic wrong. And that drives me crazy. But that cassette right there, when I was 4th grade, somewhere around that was my jam. That was about as good as it got, because there was a couple naughty words there, definitely some suggestive material. So when a 10-year-old boy, 9-year-old boy gets to listen to it, it's the coolest thing he's ever heard. $12.99 free shipping, maybe? Next thing going out, I know this was one of them too. It is a vintage Chubb's baby wipes container in the blue right here, and I'm only down to one blue one, so I will have to check my numbers on that, make sure the listing is good still. And $10.79 free shipping minus an additional 20%, because I know that one was one of them that they used a coupon on. I've got great sales. I'm not going to let it bring me down that something weird happened and that eBay doesn't know how to run a business. Apparently I don't either. Next thing up, C3 is a vintage 1968 brass ornate with roses, I think, on it. But they are plug covers right here. And for the set, they bought all 5. It was an individual listing. $17.99 free shipping each. I paid $1 for all of them total, and somebody sent me an offer of 10. I countered $14.99, and they accepted. So the total on that, $74.95, free shipping. These were listed a couple days. I just got them last week. Next thing going out is a game, Dynasty Warriors for PlayStation 2. This one here. And for this game right here, complete with manual, black label, $15.29 free shipping minus an additional 20% if you feel like doing that math. Next up on C3 again is a Husky 5-gallon bucket tool belt. And whoever invented this, I'm guessing someone who did a lot of carrying their tools in a 5-gallon bucket, is a genius. This was such a good invention. And if you don't know what it is, it's a skirt, a tool belt skirt, as you can see here, that slides over a 5-gallon bucket. So then you can fill the 5-gallon bucket and then have all your tools that you don't want in the bottom of a 5-gallon bucket surrounding it. It's like turning a 5-gallon bucket into a toolbox, easy peasy. It's got a handle. It's really just an ingenious invention. So whoever capitalized on that one, I think they live in a real big house, because that's just genius. And for that, $21.59 plus shipping minus an additional 20%. Here's the one. This is the one that really bummed me out. This is the only reason I knew it happened. So I guess that's good, because if not, the coupon could have just been out there till the end of the month. And again, I'm not looking to give 30% off of almost anything, but so be it. It is on the desk. It's Nike Air Jordan 12 Retro Royal. They were kind of buried, so I had to dig them out. But these are, as you can tell by the, well, you might not be able to tell, because of the vintage box, that's how you can, one of the key indicators that it's vintage. These are true vintage Jordan 12s Royal. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed. Because what it's saying is that those sold for $224.99. Original listed price, let me double check. I think $250. Yes, listed price $249.99. So to sell them $25 off, I'm still happy. The buyer potentially would still be happy. But then there's an additional 20% off on top of that. So when I look, I go, wow, $224. But then I was like, okay, but my total money seems very off. Only reason I figured it out is I clicked and I went, okay, but they're only paying me $179, or I think that's what it was, $179.99 or somewhere in that range after the additional. That's another $45 off after $25 off. So that's $70. I gave $70 off on this pair of shoes. I'm not super stoked about that, but I did pay about $20 for them. The shoes were not selling great lately because I had listed a ton of them. It slowed down, but I was counting on a bunch of them selling as we get closer to Christmas. I'm not going to give out a bunch of deals on things that are likely to be Christmas gifts, but I'm not going to stress about it. It's profits. It came in. I'm more upset, not that that it sold so cheap, but that it's falsifying what you're getting. It's giving you a false hope. It's giving you a false representation of how much money you made. It's just so stupid. And you have to go through multiple avenues to even find out that something happened. I don't know. Sometimes. Sometimes. Ooh, eBay, you got me heated over here. I'm starting to sweat. All right, B2 is a dimensions counted cross stitch on B2. I think it's this little one right here with the lighthouse on it. I probably should have looked at the picture or read a little bit more. Did I get it? I nailed it. It was this one. All right. So for this, $849 free shipping, possibly with another 20% off of that. Who knows? Oh, man. And before we wrap it up today, I've got tip of the day. And the tip of the day is, even in bad categories or bad brands, there can be good items. Glassware, you've heard me say I'm mostly out on. But if I find a Pyrex butter print in turquoise or pink that's in decent shape for a decent price, I'm buying it because it's a great seller. But let me see if I got an example here. Here we go. But if I find this one with no lid in mediocre condition, there's no way I'm picking it up because it'll just sit on my shelf. It's a lot of hassle. It's not worth it. Corning, same kind of thing. Corning, I'm basically out on completely, but there are some items I would buy. Now, anchor hocking, I would almost never buy. Never, 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 ever, never, 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 ever. But there are anchor hocking items that you should look out for. Jadeite. Jadeite in any company. The Jadeite green glassware, it's good, it's good, it's good. Also, I've sold I probably sold 2 anchor hocking pieces ever. Maybe some glasses, like actual drinking glasses, more often than that, but still, I just avoid it because it's a bad category, bad company. For your home, it's fabulous. It's great. But personal collection, sure. Resale, bad. That's what I mean by bad. But my dad came by the other day and he said, hey, you interested in these? And I said, oh, they're anchor hocking, so no. He said, well, you might want to look them up first. So we did, and there's these anchor hocking teardrop bowls. This one, unfortunately, does have a chip in the end of it, but the end is still there, and we'll sell them as a lot. So that kind of makes up some of that. Doesn't make up for the damage, but it increases the likelihood of it selling because it comes as a set. You give a discount because it's damaged, discount already because it's a set. All the above, it'll sell pretty good. Let me double check on the price. And I kept saying anchor hocking, but I meant Fire King. There's probably some of you already yelling at me that that's Fire King. Same thing, anchor hocking, Fire King, Corning, Pyrex, all of those. For me, I'm out except for a very select few. Pyrex is still your best one where you can take a shot in the dark. If it's in good condition, Pyrex, you can just buy it. Your downside is a lot less, where some of the anchor hocking, Corning, Fire King, the downside is zero. The downside is it never sells. It just doesn't have the name, the recognition that someone who has no clue about glassware, someone who's like, oh, I just bought a house, let me buy some things. They're not searching for it. So it's a lot harder to unload, at least on eBay. If you got a local, like a flea market or whatever, you're good. For that set, the Fire King Teardrop, the little one sells for about $30 to $35 plus shipping. The big one, $50 to $70 for the shipping is what it's plus shipping is what it's showing. And then a couple of them for the set. It's very weird. It costs less money to buy them separately. That's not uncommon. It's just because people don't, when they want both, they don't go and search the different ones. They go, okay, here's the cheapest of the two, cheapest set, and they just buy that one. Even though if they did more research, they go, oh, but actually if I buy this one and this one, it's going to cost me less money. Whatever. I'm not the buyer. I don't have to deal with that. I'm the seller. I'm glad people don't go through that work. So 100 plus ship, 130 plus ship, something like that. So we'll probably go, because the one's got a chip in it, $74.99 plus ship, $79.99 plus ship, and then, you know, discounts and sales, sending out offers, it'll go for less, just because it's a bad company or a bad category doesn't mean you should completely ignore it. When you're searching something and you look it up and you go, okay, that's not worth buying, after you've moved on, go to the solds and just sort by highest. Go to the company, sort by highest, and even if it's a trash category and you're like, oh, this is all garbage, there'll be 2 or 3 listings at the top where you go, oh, except for that one. That one's amazing. Don't dismiss it just because you've already done the research to dismiss it. Just don't be so black and white. Don't be so yes or no. Sometimes it's a maybe. Because I say, hey, you want to sell these? Maybe. I looked up and said, okay, sure, yeah, we can do that. Well, that's gonna be all for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, go ahead and give it a thumbs down. Subscribe, share, and be good to each other.